One of my favorite quotes is, "What's most secret is most common." So I thought I would share a secret with you. It's not a big secret, but it's just something that I've been working on for the past few years. And today I am excited to actually share it with everybody, kind of put it out there and let people know what I've got up my sleeve. So first and foremost, welcome to another episode of Going Beyond the Scale. Okay, 11 years ago, about 9 o'clock tonight, was the anniversary of the Biggest Loser finale for season 11, which was the longest season in NBC Biggest Loser history. So as I get close to the anniversary every year, I always am trying to think about something to kind of put a stake in the ground, something that I want to do, something that I want to be able to mark that time, because it was a very big time for me in my life and in my family's life. So 11 years later, I'm finally ready to write the book that I've thought about in different bits and pieces over the years, that really kind of, it doesn't just tell what I learned on Biggest Loser, it's kind of what led up to me getting on the show, what happened during the 8 months that I was there, and more importantly, now what's transpired it's going to be like 11 years since the finale. And the idea is not to kind of finish it, but to really, in many regards, kind of begin that journey. And the reason why I'm saying begin that journey is that I've had the fortune to be able to do a lot of speaking across the country. I've done things where what I do I call navigating. It's like not coaching, but it's kind of like doing supporting people in their health and well-being, people that want to lose weight, people that want to get healthier, people that want to maintain weight loss. I've done a lot in the past 11 years. So in writing the book, I didn't want to make the book be a book about Biggest Loser. I wanted it to be about the catalyst of what had happened during that time, what I had learned, but more importantly, like I said, what I've been doing since that time. And then going forward, what will I continue to do? What will I do for myself and my family? What will I do for others? Because this is really, I didn't plan it this way. I have had a very eclectic background in what I've done career-wise. I've done lots of things. But this idea of what I'm doing now is really my life's work. I don't know of anything else I would rather do. So for now, what I think the book will be called, the working title is going to be called Going Beyond the Scale. I got a book title, URL title, inscribed on my hat here, as a mental reminder, kind of just to remind myself, once I put a stake in the ground that I wanted to do this, I wanted to be able to have something that I can put on and keep literally top of mind. So I'm going to start that process. Today I'm actually starting to write the book. I have notes. I have things that I've been doing over time. I've been collecting things. I have bits and pieces of it in different files in different places. But one of the things that I've been doing recently that I found is an interesting way if you want to write a book, is what I find is if you speak about the idea, if you speak about the topic that you want to talk about, maybe it's one topic within a book, or maybe it's part of a chapter. If you speak about it and you film it, it starts to get out of your head. And then what ends up happening is you can take the information, like I'm going to do with this, and you transcribe it. You use an app called Otter. There's other ones, but you can use Otter, and you get the transcription of what you've been talking about. Now, what I will tell you is when you talk about something, it's not the same as about writing it. But what I found is by taking the transcription, what ends up happening is it becomes a seed for me to just sit there and continue to type out and expand upon an idea. And sometimes it gives me a seed of an idea, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to expand upon that. So here's how it's going to work. I don't know when the book will be completed. My intention is to take no longer than a year to actually write the book. So how I'm going to write it is I'm going to do like what I'm doing right now. I will literally think of something I want to talk about. I will talk about it. I will record it. I will post it as a podcast. I will post it as a YouTube video. I will take the transcription, and then I will actually do a blog post. So out of that process, I'm going to start to collect how I want the book to begin, what I want it to be in the middle, how I want it to end. I already know that the ending chapter is going to be called 199, and I'm not going to reveal what that means, but the last chapter in the book is going to be called 199, and there's a reason why it's called that, and that will come out in the book. So that's part of the reason why I was able to do this, is that I had these pieces all along, but finally it just kind of came together. In the past couple of weeks, it really kind of came together. And it won't be, just so you know, this is not going to be the first book that I've ever written. The first book that I ever wrote was back, I think it was 2012, when I did my very first TEDx talk, and the TEDx talk was called Smartphone Fit. So I did that talk, and it was really at that time, it was what I had found that it helped me on Biggest Loser, and helped me get back on Biggest Loser when I got voted off after like week 7. Then I got to be the only contestant that got brought back on. And then it was really what helped me maintain not gaining all my weight back. It was really kind of the genesis of whatever was really going to help me keep the weight off, so that I can go back and get back to 435 pounds and plus. So that's been one of the things that's been in the background all this time. I am going to update and rewrite that book. So it's very probable that my next book, my second book, is actually going to be a new title around the idea of Smartphone Fit, which will be things that I've learned since I originally wrote the book, things that happened over the past 10 years. But the one that I'm really passionate about is this idea, and as I said, it's going to be the working title of Going Beyond the Scale. That's probably what it's going to be called, because that's what I'm really finding that I'm getting a lot of passion around, and I'm getting a lot of great input from people. And I want you to also know, the idea of the book is not meant to be my story. How I'm going to write the book is I'm going to be sharing things, but I want it to become a catalyst for a conversation with other people. I'm going to be interviewing subject matter experts like I do already. I've done that with some other people around Going Beyond the Scale. And my other intention is I want the website and I want the book to become a place that creates community. I want people to feel like they have a voice. They have something that they can share their challenges. That's why when I opened this up and I said my favorite quote is, "What's most secret is most common." And in the area of weight maintenance, eating healthier, exercising, mental challenges, mental stress, anything that affects us physically and mentally, we have a lot of secrets, a lot of things we hold back on. A lot of people that have had challenges with eating, it's emotional eating. I was a secret eater. I was a binge eater. So I want this book, I want the website, I want this to be something that's not my thing. It's something that lots of people are connecting, communicating, sharing. I want people to start to find a safe place to feel comfortable that they can start to talk about it. And also understand, I'm very positive, but I'm also somebody that's gotten over the idea of being repressed. I used to repress my emotions. I only was positive. I would not harbor any kind of like cranky thoughts. I didn't like to get in a bad mood. I've come to learn over time that doesn't help me, doesn't help anybody else. So a lot of truth, a lot of openness, a lot of creating community, a lot of connecting, a lot of conversations. That's what this is about. So today is the actual first day that I'm for real, 100% for real, writing this book. How am I writing the book? Like I said, I'm speaking about it. I'm going to share it in a podcast, going to share it in a YouTube video, going to take this transcription, and I'm going to start to do the first blog post for that, which will end up being part of the book. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the goingbeyondthescale.com website, there will be a page that's there, and I will start to post specifically the topics and things that I'm thinking about, my notes, all that's going to be there. So if somebody wants to look at it, they can see how that's going to work. And I think somewhere along the line, I'm not sure, but I've had this other idea that once I get about a quarter of a way, maybe halfway through the book, I want to either launch the concept and the book on Indiegogo or Kickstarter. I'm not sure which one of the ones I want to do, but I'm thinking that could be a really great way to build this community of people that will help really developing the content. I know what I want to be able to share. I know that for myself, and I think I'm on to something with what I'm going to be sharing about going beyond the scale, the things that you guys have heard me talk about with body composition, about moving beyond some of the ways in which we have looked at ourselves and the way that we measure things, the way that we unfortunately sometimes beat ourselves up or shame ourselves. Like, I think I know what that's going to be, but I'm also smart enough to know that if it's going to really help people, it's not just going to be my book, it's going to be everyone's contribution. So if you would like to contribute and you want to be part of it, within the next few days, I'll probably have a place in there. I'll be able to let you know where you could, be part of the community, be part of maybe the development of how the book's going forward. If you know somebody you think I should interview for the book, let me know. So that's it. There's no secret about this anymore. This is not going to be something that's most secret. But what we're going to do with going beyond the scale is start to explore what's most secret for all of us, so that we all understand that we're pretty much all in the same boat. We probably pretty much have very much the same feelings. And I think the more that we can out that for each other, I think we'll all be a lot better in terms of how we think about our size, our shape, and the kinds of things that we want to do. We're going to move beyond what we weigh in the old way of doing it. To be continued. I'm going to explain more about what that really represents, but going beyond the scale is a whole new conversation. I'd love you to join in that conversation. So until the next time, thanks for being here. If you are interested in this, please stay tuned at goingbeyondthescale.com and share it with other people. Okay, thanks guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.